Welcome everybody to Geek Boots Military Nerds. Here at Geek Boots, we like to tell you all about the big green weenie and how it likes to continue to fuck us. Just like when you go to see the new Joker movie and about 10 minutes in, all of a sudden Jared Leto's face pops up.
Oh!
Womp.
Suck a fucking dick, motherfucker. Suck a fucking dick.
Motherfucker!
Suck a fucking dick, motherfucker. Suck a fucking dick.
Motherfucker!
Tonight is kind of a fully loaded episode. Pun intended, of course. We are doing some brief news that is military related. We're talking about extraordinary news, pun intended. We're going to talk about the new Joker movie, which releases tomorrow, the day the movie is released, so that'll be fun. And then we're going to talk about Joker, the character, and of course, it's October, so we got to talk about a little bit about Halloween. And then one of our cast members got to go to the Maleficent premiere. That was super awesome. So, without further ado, I feel like I need to talk about the Army uniform because I tuned in to Mayan Goddess's Twitch stream and someone asked her about the Army uniform, and I come on and I go, I mean, I guess everybody has the right to have the ability to the information, but seeing as how I was in during that time with those horrible uniforms, keep in mind I didn't hate them because I was too focused on the fact that, hey, I'm in the Army. I get to wear this and it's legal. What's up now? Woohoo! But at the same time, I got out of active duty, and about 2 weeks out of getting out of active duty, they announced that they were releasing the new uniforms at the PX. And I thought to myself, those motherfuckers. Then I thought, no, I'm not staying in just to wear a uniform. That's ridiculous. It's not worth it. But joined the National Guard, and of course, hilariously, the uniform then got issued to us, and it was my last 3 months of National Guard, so essentially I got to wear it 3 times.
Nah.
That was it. Just 3 times, so that was hilarious.
That's the green weenie. Finding out you finally get a decent thing, and then you're like, bye, bitch.
Yep. So that was great. No, the other one is the fact that they're bringing in the old World War II uniforms. And I'm sitting here going, motherfuckers. And to me, it is not just how good that uniform looks, because, I mean, the dress blues look pretty good to me, too. No, for me, what ticks me off is that you no longer have to wear the beret with the dress uniforms. It's the cap that they had in World War II. So I'm like, damn it. Whole bunch of reasons why I'm just a little bit tempted to go back in.
But then you're like, my beard, though.
My beard, being able to go to conventions, do this podcast.
I'm not going to lie. I have 2 things about it, and both of them have to do with being a cocky Marine asshole.
Sure.
So one,
surprise.
I know, right? Who knew? So going back to World War II, I'm like, yeah, we still got our World War II stuff. What's up?
Yeah.
We look like us now, don't ya? Yeah. And 2, I'm gonna be kind of sad because all my memes about you guys matching with pretty much like grandma furniture is like
gone.
It's gone.
That's why I loved shout out to Angry Cops, his video reaction to September 30th being the last day that you're allowed to wear that uniform. So just to clarify, it was available at the PX and you're allowed to wear both, but once they've issued it out completely to everybody, then they're like, all right, cool, we're going to phase them out. It's time. You're no longer allowed to wear the ACUs. Yeah, his reaction was, who in their right mind thought that this would blend in with anything?
Well, it was supposed to.
That happened to the Marines too. Like for the females, we had to change our covers, and they started like going out, and they were like, "Well, you can still use it until it's no longer serviceable. So if there's any stains on it, you have to switch to the new cover." And then the same thing, they're doing that now with the unisex blues that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, yeah, you can kind of, but I mean, don't bother. So it's the same thing, and I don't like that Stitch personally, but I'm out, so I don't care.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's no way for me to go back in.
You luckily get to say, I was in before they made a horrible decision. Me, unfortunately, I get to say I was in when they made a horrible decision.
Wait, so does that mean you were the horrible decision?
No, the uniform was. I just unfortunately
No,
had to wear it.
that was his parents many years before.
Oh, bird!
Oh, I felt that sizzle from here.
We're all West Coast, so I mean.
And of course, we're got to give shout outs where shout outs are due. Extraordinary League just announced its last set of winners, and two of the people are winners that are on this cast right now. Single Dad and Mayan Goddess, they got to win. That's awesome for them.
Well,
And,
no, we get to compete.
No, we made the we made the chopping block.
Yeah, you
We're
had to
about
chop
to get
it.
chopped. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Cosplay Genemy is in it, of course. So that's freaking awesome. I did not enter. It's fine. It's cool. Just gonna.
Yeah, you didn't enter at all as Captain America or Deadpool or.
I didn't win, I should say. I didn't get into it at all, so it's fine.
It's not a winning or losing.
It is.
It's a being chosen to represent that character. Oh my goodness.
I mean,
no, I do have to say, Batman got a couple finalists. Okay, I saw that there were quite a few Wonder Women.
Yeah, for like different versions of it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I say this both with a chip on my shoulder and an announcement to look for other cosplayers like me. I know of one who's a Marine, and I know two that are Air Force. I have yet to find someone who's not only cosplays as Captain America, but also served or is serving in the Army. I want to know more. But at the same time, I'm like, who best to represent Captain America than the guy who serves in the Army? And I put that in my message. He said, thank you for your service. And I still got denied.
I sent like for, I think it was for Wonder Woman was when I started this. But I submitted like this whole like speech with a picture after each line, and he was like, this is amazing. Didn't pick any of them. And then the last one I picked, I was like, so you can't just throw out like Morticia and Wednesday when I've done both Morticia bleep and Wednesday bleep, and that's the one he picked.
Yep.
Like, I'll take it.
Your Maleficent should have been picked, honestly. Either your Maleficent or your Wonder Woman, in my honest opinion.
True, but I have my thoughts about Wonder Woman, and it's okay. They're both amazing. But the person who got picked for Maleficent, damn girl.
Yes, so
damn.
I love and appreciate a lot of the Wonder Woman cosplayers that are out there. Like Wonder Woman is real. I love her because she looks like the original Wonder Woman. Love her to death. She's a fantastic one. But there's a couple others that the reason why I appreciate them is with just the right slight amount of makeup and the facial expression, they look exactly like Gal Gadot. And I'm like, that's cool. But for me personally, I gotta say, Mayan Goddess, who doesn't have the face for either of those actors, looks like the best Wonder Woman I know. That's just my 2 cents. So I'm like, okay, cool.
That is the sweetest way of saying you are way too short and way too fat, but we like you. I got you. I'm kidding. No,
Did you say you're way too faggot?
Fat.
Oh, that too.
Thank you for clarifying.
Wow.
No, quick shout out to Wonder Woman is real though. Not
what
only
she
is
does,
amazing, but the work that she does in San Diego for the community is just absolutely like it's incredible. So when people are like, "Oh, you lost to her," I'm like, I'm totally okay with that. She is amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, now on to the reason we are here tonight. Joker comes out the day this episode airs, which is Friday. Funny timings with this whole entire thing now. And I'm super pumped. I'm super excited. We're going to discuss the movie a little bit in terms of theories and what we think, because we haven't seen it, obviously. One day I hope we'll get enough notoriety that, people will start asking us to go to premieres just because we review movies. It'll be great. We can dream. Or you could be like, or we could be like Jeremy Johns, who he's so influential that he was reviewing the Dave Chappelle Sticks and Stones, and it had gotten so many negative reviews by critics. He found out through the Dave Chappelle special that, hey, he qualifies for a critic through Rotten Tomatoes, and when he puts his information out there, Rotten Tomatoes uses it to change the percentage meter. So he gave it a positive review, and it bumped it up just a little bit. And I'm like, wow, one day I hope to be like Jeremy Johns, where something is horrible, we're like, you know what, we disagree, and we give it a positive spin. Tell Rotten Tomatoes to go to hell. So, the Joker. What are your thoughts on Joker? Which is a blanket statement, but essentially I am excited for this Joker movie because I really did not like Jared Leto's performance. I didn't care too much for the visual. Everyone's going to have a different visual, but their performance, just his acting wise, it felt like his laugh was like, I don't even know how to describe his laugh. I just know that I really wished I had a universal remote to mute the theater whenever his laugh was playing during Suicide Squad. That would have been great, because that laugh was horrible. It was horrifying, but maybe that was the point. I'm excited for Joker because there's like this meme that went out there where they did the comic book and they're like, let's throw him in a pit of acid to make him go crazy and change him. And they show Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker, and they goes, let's throw him at society. I'm like, oh shit, motherfuckers, here we go. So I'm very pumped for this movie. Joaquin Phoenix has done a couple of films, but they've been indie films. He hasn't really been in the limelight ever since he shouted loudly that he quits acting. So I'm excited to see him in this and how everything is going to project. Ladies and gentlemen, J4 has just entered the show. Welcome, J4.
Oh my! Wait a second. Is that a fresh haircut?
Is that a fresh background?
Even Simply No Hesitation came out of the woodworks to say, what? And hi, everybody.
Hello.
So yeah, I'm excited for this performance. I'm excited for this take. I don't know a whole lot. I just know that it kind of feels like with this version of Joker, this is obviously before Bruce Wayne, so I'm interested to see how this goes. But a lot of inspiration came from The Killing Joke. So I am excited to see something controversially better than the animated The Killing Joke movie, which I liked the beginning part and I liked the ending part, but that whole middle area where they were trying to give more backstory behind Batgirl just to like extend the time of the movie so that a full length movie, they didn't need that, and it was really awkward to watch Batgirl have sex with Batman.
So. Yeah. I remember like when like that came out during San Diego Comic-Con, and everyone's just like, "Oh, this is what the
yeah."
Was kind of the general progression of that like 10-second snip.
The hype of that entire little animated movie was the fact that you're getting Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy to reprise those roles for such an epic comic storyline in the Batman universe. Like,
well, not only that, but The Killing Joke is kind of like iconic. It's one of those where it's like, if you want to get to know Batman and like in the comic books, you have to read it. It's like Under the Red Hood. It's one of those like classics. that you just have to get under your belt. And so I will say, as far as the Killing Joke, besides that one little like, they did a fantastic job. Like the way that they portrayed Commissioner Gordon and what happened, spoilers, and like how they got the fight together. It was beautifully edited and put
reading
together.
recommendation. Get the Killing Joke if we're spoiling too much for you now.
Yeah.
If you haven't read it by now, oh my goodness. I'm sorry. That's like saying you haven't read The Death of Superman. I mean, there's just some things. I mean, whether they're canon
an awkward moment
not,
when we all look at J4 like,
yeah, tell us more.
I mean,
It's okay, J4. I haven't read it either. Okay.
But here's the thing.
I can't even that.
It doesn't matter if it's canon or not. These are stories that are part of the lore. So whether they fall where they fall in the spectrum of actually like continuity of characters and everything like that, you still need to read them because just for entertainment value alone, they're phenomenal stories.
Yeah, and
well, it's one of those things where it's like you got to appreciate good art when you see it.
Yeah, like, well, it's okay. It's an Alan Moore graphic novel, so
right.
That should let you know if whether you're getting into comics and you don't know comics. That alone, let me tell you, if it's Alan Moore, you need to read it. He's fantastic.
Right.
On top of, but because it's Alan Moore, he had also stated in an interview at one point, this is not a canon storyline. This is a what if. This is, I wanted to say that the reason why Joker is the way he is because he had a bad day. Life was beating him down, and because he's only human, he finally snaps.
Right.
So that's all he was trying to portray. So yeah, but and that's basically what, just swing it back around. That's what we're about to see with the new Joker movie, and that's why I'm excited to see this portrayal and how this goes down. So I'm very excited. We are now going.
Oh, go ahead.
I was about to say, swinging it now to Mayan Goddess. Your thoughts on the Joker?
So it's really interesting how they're putting it out in all the promotions. They're like, oh yeah, well, we're not really pulling from anything, but we're kind of like getting inspiration. But I'm like, there are a lot of things in the preview so far that if you're a big fan of like Joker lore, you're like, that scene looks really familiar. That setup looks really familiar. That color scheme looks very familiar. And so like, I'm kind of curious to see like how they're going to interpret, because there's one scene, I think it was in Batman the Brave and the Bold, when Joker does his little thing and he like kind of like fucks up the entire audience in his stand-up. I'm forgetting which scene it was. I think it was either the Brave and the Bold. I don't think it was the animated series, but it was so beautifully done in that show. And so when I saw like the curtains come up, I was like, oh, is he about to do this? Because if he does, I'm gonna like scream bloody murder and it's gonna be amazing. But yeah, I do appreciate their take on it. And I kind of have like my thoughts about who this Joker is going to be, because they did say this isn't the Joker that we're seeing in DC Universe. This is like a standalone character interpretation. So I'm kind of curious if this Joker is the original Joker and the Joker that we're dealing with in DC Universe right now is kind of like a fanatic, or like the next generation, like he created that mindset for the next one.
And that kind of helps out when they've been talking about how this is a standalone movie, because then they can do whatever they want to tell the tale without ruining, messing up, or having to try and blend it with the continuity of the DCEU.
There's also the other part that I'm kind of nervous about, but I think J4 is going to talk about it.
The soft reboot?
No, but that should work. That would be really cool.
Like you're referencing the Jared Leto Joker, but they're kind of backpedaling, it seems like, and they're kind of removing that from canon or from the DCEU canon. If that's not Jared, the atrocity that was the Jared Leto Joker is no longer going to be like part of it.
If they're going to do that with Jared Leto, then they have to do that with Eisenberg, Mark Zuckerberg, that actor who did Lex Luthor. They like if they're gonna do it with Jared Leto, they gotta do it.
Well,
I know you're
it
the
sounds
only one. You're
He's
the
not the only
only
one. He is not the only one.
but there's already talk that they're recasting Superman. They've recast Batman. It's a soft reboot. They're keeping Gal Gadot because
she's amazing as Wonder Woman, and they're keeping Jason Momoa as Aquaman because he's amazing as Aquaman. And they're deciding to tell everybody in the cancel culture to go to hell because they're keeping Amber Heard as Mara because otherwise it'd be really awkward. Because case in point, Batman Begins, cough cough. All of a sudden, Rachel's completely different. And you're just like, wait a minute, that's not the same actress that played Rachel.
Yeah, but the person who played
but it
Rachel,
worked
the
for
second
Rhodey.
one. Yeah, in Batman Begins, like, no offense to what's her name who played her, but like, she was really bad.
Katie
It was just Katie Holmes. I was like, there's no chemistry, and I'm just standing here awkwardly. At least in The Dark Knight, it was
she
just like
married to Tom Cruise.
she had like zero expression on her face the entire
Because she was
wasn't
married
allowed
to
to.
Tom Cruise.
She wasn't.
It was
allowed to.
like
It's like that Family
Kristen
Guy.
Stewart level of acting.
It's
Because she was married to. I can keep
that
saying
Family
this.
Guy joke. It's that Family Guy joke where all of a sudden she beats Tom Cruise over the head with something and then breaks the chains, runs out, and then I'm free. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I mean, you saw on Dawson's Creek, she has more range. I mean, not much, but she has more. But
Bold
yeah,
of you
no.
to assume that I've seen that show.
Do, 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 do. Do, 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 for our lives to be over.
nobody knows the rest of the song.
I have said for a while, if somebody sings the song just like that, we could be best friends. So, just a heads
Well,
up.
we're not going to be best friends.
Well,
Did we just become best friends?
yes. Let's go build bunk beds. I'll take the bottom one so that it lands on top of me.
You've got the beard. It'll
You would be the bottom. I mean, what?
You have no idea. Uh,
I think it just killed mine.
Yep, we're waiting for the dolphin now.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
it may
there.
be breaching.
Try-
It may be breaching.
Oh,
I see a blowhole. There.
and she's rolling the tongue. Good for the Spanish there.
J-A-J-A-J-A.
Oh my god.
That was the most flipper I have ever heard you go.
It's good to have you back, J4. Oh, that's really funny.
God. Oh.
Oh, okay. Anyway, go on, Bottom.
There's a lot of ways I can interpret that for a second there too, because right now J4 is below you. So I'm like, so are we switching this to J4? Like, J4, it is now your turn officially.
Opinions on Joker movie?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm just trying to go into this because I'm going to go see it tonight after work. And I am just going to try to keep an open mind. I'm trying to ignore all the hype, but which is really hard considering all the social media the last couple of weeks to couple months has been really hammering this hard, which I really hate because when you talk a movie up and then it doesn't deliver,
Yeah.
you tend to have more of a negative reaction than you would if you went in with an open mind. And I just want to watch the movie for what it is. I do appreciate that they're telling a Joker origin story that's not part of all the rest of the stuff. Because is it an interesting story? Absolutely. However, one of the best things about the Dark Knight was that And the scariest thing is that with the Joker, they never explain shit. They
That
never
is
tell
true.
you where. They never tell you where he came from, who he is, why he's
Just
doing
he showed
this.
up one day.
He just showed up. He's batshit fucking crazy, but super smart, and is just sowing chaos.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like awesome decision and brave that Nolan made to go in that direction. And yeah, I like that, and it kind of reminded me of the animated series because I don't recall them actually giving an origin story, did they?
What I also appreciated out of Heath Ledger's Joker was he continuously made different types of backstories as to why he has his scars and why he is the way he is. And that's a callback to a line in the actual comic books where Joker says, sometimes I remember it one way, sometimes I remember it this way. If I'm going to have a backstory, I'd like to have multiple choice.
It is kind of, yeah. I like the way that they did it, and what's it called? There is something though that I'm kind of curious about, but I'm gonna wait because I don't want to steal anybody's thunder. And I had this like theory, but I'm gonna wait for Single Dad.
Well, all right then.
Yeah, I'm just excited. The movie, it should be interesting. It should be a lot of fun. Yeah, that's my thought. I don't really have any.
Yeah, I'm in the same headspace. I'm trying to keep myself from getting too overly hyped.
Yeah.
I myself do not like slow burn movies unless they have such an ending that is just so out of this world that you're just like, whoa. Like God, there's
Absolutely. Then do not
Hereditary.
go see.
Like
Don't
the movie
go see Ad Astra.
like the movie Hereditary. It was a very slow burn movie with a couple of what the fuck moments. But then that ending, when the horror finally started getting on fire, getting on point, I'm just like, oh my god! Like, that's what I do appreciate. But sometimes there's slow burn movies, and you just like, after you're done watching the movie, and you're like, why did I just waste 2.5 hours of my life watching that just now? So, couldn't agree more on slow burn movies, and I'm hearing that's probably going to be the case with Joker. So, anyway, Single Dad, it is your turn now, good sir.
Well, like J4, I have been trying to avoid the social media juggernaut about this movie. But I can honestly say, like, what I've seen, I'm kind of like, I'm in a confused space. Yes, I'm looking forward to going and seeing it. But what I've seen mostly, and I don't know if it's like this for y'all in y'all's part of the country or with y'all's algorithms the way that they are, most of what I'm seeing is not negative against the movie, but cautionary as
About
to the
society.
movie.
Yeah.
Well, no. Cautionary, not about society, but reactionary. Like I was actually looking it up earlier, and like there are bases that are warning their troops about going to see this movie on opening night due to the possible threats of violence and everything like that. And with all the incel culture and everything that's kind of coming out of the woodwork, and people are genuinely scared that this movie is going to kind of be a tinderbox for those that want an excuse to cause violence. And I'm gonna use those words specifically. Want an excuse to cause violence.
Kind of like a purge.
Yes, and they'll use this movie as that excuse, and they'll blame it on a movie that they went and saw, like, and that for some odd reason in their brain that makes it okay. So I'm kind of leery about that. I'm not concerned for my safety, but I mean others that may be going to the movie with the wrong intention. I'm a huge Joaquin Phoenix fan. I am looking forward to this movie, very much so. I am not of the opinion that Jared Leto's Joker was the worst thing to ever happen to American cinema, like a lot of people are. I think he has a role. He portrayed it the way he felt. He wanted to do it differently. And that's what he did. Unlike you, Tom Cruise, I am a big fan of his laugh in that because it's so freaking creepy. It
Jared
makes your
Leto's
skin.
laugh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes your skin crawl.
That was good. I will admit it was a good laugh.
So, and that's the thing is, and I'm going to take all these different characters the way they are. And even like I watched an interview with Mark Hamill and how he comes to his roles and how he developed the Joker's laugh for that show. And he was like, even in the Batman the Animated Series, he had like 12 to 15 different laughs that he did for different situations. So, you can't just say the Joker's laugh. Because it's going to be different for different situations. It's going to be different for different actors. So, depending on what you're looking at, that's what you got to go with. Looking forward to the movie. And yeah, excited.
Can I just say real
To
quick
be
though?
fair.
To be fair.
Wait, did I say to be fair?
She said no. She said.
I was
Can
not ready
I
to
just
follow
say?
fair.
But to be
Yeah.
fair,
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be
Ladies
fair.
Ladies first.
Okay.
we're about to get sued.
So
That's fine.
um,
I just ordered a hockey jersey from him, so it'll be all right.
Oh, okay.
ooh,
I'll wear it on the show. Oh
Okay.
yes,
Ooh.
they're selling the Letterkenny Shamrocks, Shamrockettes, and the Senior League
we
jersey.
need to cosplay them. Okay. So I just want to say quick shout out to Joaquin Phoenix. Thank you for coming back to acting. We've
Yes.
missed you. We've missed you so much. You are a fantastic actor. It's good to have you back. Just had to say that.
And
Yes.
fuck you, Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know if you guys have watched it on YouTube. Jimmy Kimmel had Joaquin Phoenix on his show, and he was asking very rude questions. And Joaquin Phoenix, you can tell, was super uncomfortable. He was like, I have to do this. I have to be on this because it's really televised, but this is bullshit. Like, and then fucking, there was this part where Jimmy Kimmel decided to air, he's like, so you had fun on set? You enjoyed yourself? And he goes, yeah, man. We had a really great time. I'm really proud of this project. And then he shows a clip of Joaquin Phoenix cussing someone out on set. And Joaquin is just like, what the fuck, man? Like, because he had no idea that Jimmy Kimmel was going to air that content.
Okay.
Not a clue.
And on the same,
That's
to
just
be
a
fair,
professionalism thing. To be fair.
To be fair.
yeah, no, Joaquin actually, like on several interviews, got up and walked out
Yeah.
because of the way the interviewers were talking to him. So I'm sure with this being the week of, his publicists were like, no, you can't do that, especially on
The week
like
of.
national television. Because I mean, there were people that were asking him about the violent content of the movie, and was he afraid that there was going to be violence erupting at the movies because of it? And he got up and walked out of the interview.
So here's my question though. Don't like, especially for nationally televised interviews like that, don't they like screen the questions like, hey, we
Yes.
want to talk about this, this, and this. So like
So they're prepared. But
yeah, so
sometimes
that they're prepared. But if you throw a curveball like that, like that's not just like, hey, by the way, what's your favorite color? And are you two dating? Bleh. Like it's like, oh, that's playful. But to throw out like a newsworthy bombshell like that without them knowing,
If Joaquin hadn't handled it at that moment in time, saying that he apologizes to the guy, that he still loves him, and they're very good friends, it would have been like Christian Bale on that Terminator movie. How that audio got released of him swearing at that person, it would have looked that bad, honestly. And that's why I'm just like, God damn it. I love Joaquin, and I'm really happy he's back, but I really wish some people would stop being such assholes and stop treating him so poorly. All right, next question. I guess we already kind of answered this, but how do you think this Joker movie will be different from others?
yeah, we kind of already answered that one.
Kind of already answered that.
We
So-
did. I mean, it's an origin story, which we got a little bit of it with Nicholson, and that's about it. Aside
Well,
from
and again, just to reiterate,
Yep.
this is a separate storyline outside of the DCEU, as we've already covered. On top of that, the timeline. I mean, it is stated now through a lot of theories that the little kid on the other side of the big, long black fence, metal fence, is Bruce Wayne. So if Bruce Wayne's that young, and there's apparently a shot of, because Thomas Wayne is supposed to be casted in this movie,
Mhm.
of them leaving the theater, the opera theater,
Mhm.
while Joker is doing his shit. So it's clear to say that this movie has a different timeline and a different universe. So that's how it's different. Who is your favorite live action Joker and why? For me, I'm gonna have to circle back around because I have a tie between both Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger, and if I have to narrow it down, I probably can't. So, Mayan Goddess, your favorite live action Joker and why?
Caesar Romero.
there you go.
Nice choice.
Just like the classics. And it was
Yeah.
back when it was campy and it was fun and like you didn't
Campy,
really you didn't have
just
to
like
like
the comics.
yeah, and
Like-
it was back in the day where it's like you didn't have to like nitpick every single thing because they were kind of defining it as they were going along.
Yeah.
So it was like you didn't have to like nitpick about each little detail, each different laugh, each little like costume seam or anything like that. You were just having fun.
Yeah.
And
They were
that
also
I
steering
very much-
into the. They were also steering into the curve. So.
yeah. So it was like
Shark repellent.
yeah. Sometimes there's just no place to put a bomb. Like it was great stuff.
My
So
favorite.
that I enjoyed.
Literally jumping
favorite-
the shark.
My favorite Romero moment was when they were at the museum and his big moment of anarchy, instead of like blowing shit up, he took paint and just wrote Joker was here on all the paintings.
Yep.
That was his thing. I fucking love that shit.
And the fact that Cesar
Is that
Romero
brown?
at that time had so much clout that he could say, "No, screw you. I'm not shaving my mustache. Paint
Yeah.
over it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Screw you." Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, Henry Cavill, take note.
Right?
I mean, even Chris Evans did that for
Well,
Avengers.
he needs to do the opposite.
Chris,
Right.
He just faced away from the camera, didn't he?
Well, yes and no. Chris Evans, they actually put like prosthesis makeup and put it over his beard because he was starting to film Snowpiercer. And when they did that end credit scene, the reason why his hand's like this on his
Yeah,
chin,
he had to look away.
he had to look away, put his hand against his chin because they put as much makeup as they could on him, but it wasn't sticking because it's a full beard. So if you look closely enough in HD, you could see the seam between the makeup and his cheek. It's hilarious. So, yeah, Cesar Romero, good choice. Good choice. J4, your favorite live action Joker. And why?
I mean, we've had so few. It's really not much of a. I don't know. It's kind of hard to
A
say.
pool?
It's like they've all been so different. I mainly just don't like Jared Leto's Joker, which mainly because I was so pumped for Jared Leto to be Joker. Like when I found out like that was going to be my favorite part of the movie, and then I watched it, and yeah,
The sad part is he's a fantastic actor.
He really
exactly.
is.
Yeah.
What
Awesome.
happened?
It's
Yeah.
it's gotta
I
be.
thought he was perfectly cast, and whether or not it was like direction that he wanted to go, whether or not it was studio interference or directorial choices, it didn't work for me. But anyway, and I really liked Jack Nicholson's Joker, but that also might be like my childhood blinders on. 'Cause, like
Sure.
I grew up damn near burnt that tape out watching it, complete with like the Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck intro beforehand, wanting you to get
Yeah.
the Warner Brothers catalog and order Warner Brothers merchandise. Like I watched the crap out of that movie as a child. And yeah, so Jack Nicholson was always like great to watch, but like it was still pretty. It was very different because in that one, like Joker was like an old school mobster versus like what most people think of as the Joker from like the comics or the animated series. So they've all been so completely different, which is something I like about what they've done. I'm gonna have to go. I'm gonna go cheesy here, and I'm gonna have to go with Heath Ledger because that's the only Joker that I've seen on screen that actually kind of like, huh, that dude's fucking terrifying.
Well, I loved
Yeah.
that. I didn't even realize it was Heath Ledger until the credits started rolling. Not even in the trailers, nothing. I didn't look it up. So I'm watching the movie. I'm like, it was such a captivating performance. I didn't even know it was Heath Ledger. I didn't even care. I was just like, that's a Joker. Wow, holy shit.
It was like before then he was the heartthrob, and you're just going, how does he get?
Yeah,
what?
like
it's hard
So
to
it shocked everyone.
I had the exact opposite when a thing happened to me when I found out that he got cast for the role, as I did the Jared Leto thing. I thought he was gonna fucking vomit. I did not have any faith in him carrying that role. Thought it was gonna be awful. And then I watched him like, oh my.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so glad I was wrong.
Taking off the sunglasses. Oh my. This was amazing.
Right. Swinging it over now to Single Dad, your favorite live action and why?
Okay, so that's tough. It really is tough.
It's tough for me too.
And
You're allowed to do repeat answers. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to, but
yeah, there's only so many options.
Yeah, for different reasons. So I'm sure you guys have seen it going around. But each of the different portrayers, each of the different actors brought something different to the character. I mean, Cesar Romero was definitely the clown. Jack Nicholson, the gangster. And then Heath Ledger was the anarchist, and the Jared Leto was the psycho. And that's what each of them individually brought to the character, and that's what they brought to the forefront. As for the portrayal in the movie and everything like that, one of my favorite books of all time that had to deal with the Joker was, and I've still got my first editions of Death in the Family.
Yeah.
So that was, when that came out, that was tough to take. And I mean, when that came out, I was a kid, and I was reading that, and I was like, "Holy shit! They just killed Robin." Sorry, spoiler alert.
Brutally.
Brutally.
Yeah.
With a
understatement.
crowbar.
Which, by the way, if you've ever
Followed by
played
an
Arkham,
explosion.
if
Yes.
you play the Arkham games, it's even more brutal in those.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, when I saw that kind of, that smile, that light in the eye as you're beating a child to death with a crowbar, the person that personified that was Heath Ledger. That's where I saw that come through in the character most. So yes, Heath Ledger gets my vote for my favorite live action.
Sweet. Back to me. I guess my answer's got to be a combo of Jack Nicholson and Heath Ledger. It's always been kind of the same answers and reasons behind J4 is, why each one is. I just like when I watched it, like when I watched Heath Ledger's performance and I went back and watched the original one with Jack Nicholson, I kind of just sat there and thought to myself, Jack Nicholson played this one part of Joker that I personally really like, and Heath Ledger is that crazy part of Joker that I really like. So it's like, all right, I like what they've done here. So I agree. Both of them for me, in terms of live action, and why is because I love the Joker, and they both have performed my favorite reasons why I love the Joker. Switching gears now to the animated Joker. I'm going to let Single Dad have his moment to shine with his answer, and I'm now going to say Troy Baker. The reason why I say Troy Baker, though, is because the original answer I would say he's getting old, and unfortunately, as much as it's this acknowledgement, it's this sad acknowledgement where sometimes you just have to sit there and face facts. These guys aren't going to be around for a long time, and you have to go, you know what? Someone else is going to have to be able to play this role if you want them to continue to be in cinema, continue to be in cartoons, continue to be in video games. You just have to accept it. It's gonna come. And he played the Joker in the video game Batman Arkham Origins, and his inspiration was Mark Hamill. So he tried his best to give respect to that.
That was kind of necessary when you think about it, because Mark Hamill had been the Joker in the Arkham series anyway.
Yeah.
So it would be kind of it wouldn't have worked otherwise.
Yeah. And then, of course, I love Troy Baker because it's an interesting full circle for Troy Baker, because he actually gets his start playing Red Hood in Batman Arkham Knight. And then he becomes Joker in Batman Arkham Origins. Then,
wait a minute.
Or was Origins before Arkham Knight?
I think Origins. Oh gosh.
Origins came out before Arkham Knight.
Okay, so he goes from Joker to Red Hood, and then circles all the way around and plays Batman in an animated series. So he's done the trifecta.
Very well-rounded, yeah.
He's done the well-roundedness. So that's why I love Troy Baker. J4, your turn, good sir.
Once.
If you want time to look, I'll throw out some.
Mark Hamill. I mean.
Yeah.
It's not. Oh. Sorry, you had mentioned like other people that have played the roles because some like Mark Hamill's getting old. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So's Kevin Conroy. That dude is. Yeah. That guy is.
Yeah. And they've put another man in that role very recently. He's done a pretty decent job.
A lot of the like Jason O'Mara. Sorry, I'm looking up Justice League War. Jason O'Mara voiced Batman in Justice League War. He did a really good job. And then there's that in the teen, the fucking what's it called? My kids like it.
Not Teen Titans Go.
Not Teen Titans. It's the Titans animated show on DC's streaming service. It was on Netflix. God, what was it called? It's actually pretty damn good. But I also just found out Sean Austin voiced Shazam in Justice League War. Didn't know that.
What?
Rudy.
Wow.
Rudy. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him this weekend.
Oh yeah, for the Goonies reunion.
Yeah. Sean Astin and Corey Feldman on stage. I was just surprised he was still alive.
Another honorable mention, because he voiced Joker in Batman Under the Red Hood. John DiMaggio played Joker in that movie.
Yes.
Yep.
That was
really good job.
Agreed.
I just type in actors who've played Joker on Google, and I love how when I scroll down, it says Randy Spears. I'm like, who? Batman, XXX. I'm like, oh, the porno version.
Oh.
Can we give him an honorable mention? Why not?
It's simple. Mark Hamill. I mean, he basically defined the character for
really did.
Yeah, for generations.
multiple generations.
He's still playing it. Like every once in a while, there's a role. They're like, "We want you on it," and he's like, "I'm getting old for this. We'll give you billions of dollars." Oh, all right.
He straight up pulled a Michael Jordan, friggin' retired from the role and came back.
Yep. Mayan Goddess, is your turn now.
I would have to say Mark Hamill too, because he's just my childhood. But I do have to give an honorable mention to Kevin Michael Richardson, who is he played him in not The Brave and the Bold. It was before that. Oh God.
It says Batman.
Oh, the Batman.
Versus,
2004.
the Batman versus something. Doesn't
Yeah.
say the rest of the time.
But he did kind of like where everybody does like the crew cut in the animated series. They were like, let's make him have like this crazy ass fucking hairstyle and like make him.
Oh, are you talking that show that's on Netflix? Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah, I enjoyed that, and it's really because Kevin Michael Richardson has one of those distinctive voices where you're just going kind of thing, like with any role he does, and he's got a fantastic plethora of voice styles. So for me,
Yes.
if I had to pick someone other than Mark Hamill because he's iconic, I would probably go with Kevin Michael Richardson.
Can someone please reference Zach Galifianakis?
Why? Because the Two Ferns movie's out on Netflix?
No, no. I'm looking. I go, oh yeah, Zach Galifianakis played Joker in the Lego Batman movie.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't that Steve Bloom?
No, it says Zach Galifianakis, the Lego Batman movie. She has to look it up. While she's looking it up,
I was thinking the video game. I'm sorry, Lego Batman, the video game. Okay,
yeah.
I was like, girl, no, that was Steve Bloom. But no, my bad. My bad.
Single Dad, it is your turn, good sir.
Mark Hamill.
Yep.
I
So,
don't think that needs. Yeah.
So essentially, if I hadn't decided to try and give him the honorable mention, we all would have just went Mark Hamill. That's good to know.
If you had said like best portrayal of Joker, period,
Mark
instead
Hamill.
of splitting it, one of our answers would have been Mark Hamill.
Oh yeah, it would have been me. I would have been like best Joker ever. I would have been like
Probably
Mark Hamill.
would have been all of us. Now that I think about it, like
yeah, I said I only went with Troy Baker because he's my second. Mark Hamill is my first.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're all like, okay, who do we pick other than Mark Hamill? Like, like.
Well, it was specified live action and
then
Yeah.
then voice actor. So that concludes Joker talk. Now we're gonna shift gears real fast. Mayan Goddess has some stuff to talk about. Maleficent.
Yes. Let me see if I can pull the card up. But I actually got to go to the world premiere of Maleficent, Mistress of Evil.
Were you invited, or did you buy the ability to go in? Like,
no, I was invited. I was invited.
Oh, nice.
Myself, and 6-year-old Miss Ellie Honeybee. I don't know if her parents are watching or if she's watching.
Not gonna lie, that was adorable.
It was amazing.
I would hope she's not watching because damn.
Right? Can I just pause for a second? I just did the matchmaker thing from Mulan, where she's checking her thing and she like draws a mustache on herself.
I'm pretty sure you're just envious of Single Dad and I's beards.
I am. I really want that beard. But yeah, like that was amazing. It was. You had a beard for a little bit when you were on leave.
And then you shaved it and you went yeehaw to all of us.
Yeah.
I still have that video.
But yeah, Maleficent was just surreal, and I really much enjoyed the direction that they're taking it, which kind of like, not to give too many spoilers, but like there were characters where you were like, wow, you're awesome. Whereas before it was like, wow, you're there because you have to be. So they kind of gave everybody kind of like this 3D growth in this movie, which I appreciated. I'm trying not to spoil it. So I went
about the event.
Yeah. So the event itself, I got invited because I cosplay as Maleficent, and I cosplay with this young girl, Ellie, who's 6. She does Aurora. So we both got invited, and it was really exciting. And pretty much like I took like one picture and then her parents took the rest because I was on like 6-year-old hype duty because I was like, hey, you want to say hi to this person? She's like, and the cutest there were 2 really, really cute moments. Hi. There were 2 really cute moments, and it was with Elle Fanning and Angelina Jolie. So Angelina Jolie in particular, she went up to everybody. She got to like Ellie and was like, hello there, princess. And Ellie goes, you're magical. And she goes, I love magic. Are you Aurora? It was so cute. Just that's like kind of, cool. Yeah, she went into Maleficent mode. It was really pretty. And then Elle Fanning comes by. Little Ellie is named Ellie. Elle and Ellie, Aurora and Aurora. So it was adorable because she goes, "My name's Ellie," and she goes, "My name's Ellie too." And little Ellie goes, "I'm Aurora," and Ellie goes, and Elle Fanning goes, "I'm Aurora too." And then I was like, "You want to show her your dress?" And she has this like, you know those
like if you run
The
your hand across
directional-
it, it changes
Yeah.
the color or
Yeah.
whatever.
She has a dress that's like that. So she changed it and blew Elle Fanning's mind. She was just so excited. So that those two moments, even though I was kind of like the hype girl plus one, it was really cool getting to make a kid's dream come true.
And that's really what it's
Oh,
all
yeah.
about. I mean, like, you're like, I wish I'd taken more photos, but at the same time, you're like, no, I'm glad I got to live in the moment because look at that. Like, I would have been the same way. I would have been like, no, this kid's dream has to come true.
It was so worth it.
That's
And
awesome.
my favorite part, and it's not about the movie. You ready for this? During the movie, I will not say what happened, but you know how in every movie there's like, oh, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
We were in the third and second row, and in the first row were these Disney Channel stars that Ellie was like super excited about. Ellie's trying really hard not to cry loudly, so she's doing this. And so then you look and see all these Disney stars like turning. It's like, it's okay, honey. It's gonna be okay. It's all gonna turn out all right. It was so cute. Like these like famous celebrities were like consoling this child. It was really sweet. And I can take pictures because they made us like lock up all our cameras.
Of course.
Because yeah, duh. But yeah, that was Maleficent. If you want to see it, you should see it. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna go.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to. Well,
Is it a sequel or a reboot?
It's a sequel.
It's a
Okay.
sequel to the reboot.
Yes, it's a sequel to the Wickedy reboot.
Yes,
Yeah. Words.
because they took Maleficent and turned her into
The main character.
the main character and the good guy.
Yeah, I saw that movie.
Yeah, this is a sequel to that.
Sequel to that movie.
Sure. Okay.
Same actors, same
Okay.
timeline.
All that wonderful job. Yep.
That's why it's called two.
In the last few minutes of this podcast, guys, it's October.
Yeah!
Fucking Halloween season, guys. Like, what? Hype for
I don't know
Halloween.
about you guys, but have you guys been getting like messages like, "Hey, costumes are cool," and we're like, "No fucking shit."
Yeah.
Like the
I remember my friends, they had a podcast once upon a time, and they had an episode the day before Halloween, and they were talking about what they were doing. They're like, in all honesty, I take Halloween as a day off where I wear something that's really cheesy and campy and not super extraordinary, and I'm over here like, I don't know, man. I spent a lot of money on this awesome suit. I kind of want to wear it to a Halloween party. I'm just saying, like. So, yep, super pumped for Halloween. I will state that we will try to do a Halloween themed special. I don't know how we're gonna do it. We'll figure it out.
The week before, because that night I'm gonna tell you that's a Thursday night. I'm gonna be trick or treating with my kids.
True. All right.
That's
fair
true.
enough. Fair enough. Okay. There you have it.
I have an announcement if it's okay.
Has announcement, of course.
We all have several things going on.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, you guys go.
We
first.
haven't talked about the event that you and I did. We haven't
That's
talked
true.
about the weekend that I had at the con. So I'll make it quick.
Go.
This past weekend was Nostalgia 80s Con at Anaheim Convention Center. Great convention. It was the first year they're doing it. They did it. Very heavy on the very heavy on the celebrities, and not so heavy on booths or artists or anything like that, which was nice. I really hope they come around for a second year, because I was talking to the guy that runs the con and everything like that. It was his first time putting on a con. So I think there were some lessons learned there. Had a great time. Saw a lot of celebrities. Like I said, I mean, the original Dukes of Hazzard were there. There was a Goonies reunion with Corey Feldman and Sean Astin. So, I mean, Val Kilmer was there, Steve Guttenberg, Christopher Lloyd. So all these.
God.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
saw his post both Christopher
He's still
Lloyd and I'm like,
alive?
what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So,
love that. That's not the only reaction that I had as well.
but yeah, no, it was a great time. But I was down in Anaheim on Saturday, and then drove to Long Beach Saturday night to go hang out with Mayan Goddess on a battleship.
Woohoo!
So I'll let you go from there.
Welcome to 40s on the Fantail on the USS Iowa. It was actually a charity night
Yes.
for Mission 22, and they basically had all of it was World War II themed, so everyone was dressed to the nines of the 40s. It was really beautiful. You got to see the perfect hair, perfect coifs, and a lot of people there for a good cause, which was really exciting. They had some really great performers. Really great dancers, singers. They had like a swing dancing group with like a dance floor, and there were people swing dancing, people in uniform. It was really exciting, and there were a lot of like charity people there, including pinups for vets, the Mission for 22 guys, and like a lot of actually like veteran-owned microbrewers. So that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, and big shout out, not only Mission 22, but just the whole notion, to all of our fans who don't even know what that is or what the awareness is for. There is a huge mental illness, I guess, problem is the best way to put it, in terms of suicide with the military community. So it is very important to not only us, but to our battle buddies to always spread awareness. These people are fighting for our freedoms, fighting for their lives and our lives, and it's an injustice to them to not acknowledge it and trying to help them out.
Let me step in there.
Go for it.
With Mission 22, one of the reasons that I was looking forward to this event so much, I actually reached out to the organizers and the coordinators themselves. I was like, how can I help? I want to be involved. Because Mission 22 is such a great organization. They do so much. I kind of explained to them who I was. We got to talking, and then Mission 22 is so great because unlike other organizations, nonprofits, and everything like that, literally their entire staff is 100% voluntary. They don't take any funding. They don't take any money from their funding or anything like that for staff, for paying people to. It is 100% all volunteer. So all the money that they get actually just goes into either advertising to get more money, or it goes to the actual veterans themselves. So
and it's very little advertising. Like
very little.
Like if you look at them on Charity Navigator, they do like the majority of the funds that they get go straight to those services.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so thankful that I finally found them on YouTube, because I love watching YouTube videos when they have things like this, because they'll have a speech that's really inspiring, something really uplifting, or just it's thought-provoking to hear someone saying words that you normally would read about a mission. And honestly, now that I'm seeing more about this Mission 22 in the organization, I'm glad you've reached out, because I would like to do something Geek Boots related with Mission 22. Right now, money is tight. I'm about to move, so I will get with LK and maybe we'll take the boots, remove the boots, and put 22 over it instead.
Well, you just talk to them first. But I see that Mayan has something that she wants to say, I think, about this coming weekend.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I'm actually doing a charity weekend. Every month I do a charity stream weekend for different organizations, and this month is actually going to be Mission 22. So I'm going to be doing Friday and Sunday. Saturday kind of is my recharge day, but Friday and Sunday I'm going to be doing silly events. Single Dad's going to be helping me out on Friday as well. So definitely stop by.
Tom Cruise will be there as well.
Me too.
Yes.
I got Friday off.
Hey!
And just a shout out and a plug. I will be there during the beginning of the day. Please, for the love of God, Don't start it in the afternoon. I'm saying this now. Around 6 p.m. I am taking off. If you are in the West Coast area, Seattle area, and you would like to meet fellow veterans, there's a veterans event happening where we get to, shoot the shit and meet other veterans, because let's face it, when you get out of military service, it's really fucking hard to integrate back into civilian life and connect with people who just don't understand the life. So that's why I'm doing this, because frankly, I don't have a lot of military friends around me in the state of Washington. So I'm doing this to expand Geek Boots, get Geek Boots some more attention. On top of that, learn more about these other organizations that are doing this, help them out however I can, and make new friends. So yeah, I will be there during the middle of the day to help out Mayan Goddess with this charity stream on Friday, aka the day this episode airs. So
I do want to give one special shout out though as well to J4 Props, who is, where are you? In country? You're in country, across the seas, in like the middle of in the middle of the night / madrugada / morning, and you come week after week.
Just mumble in Spanish at the same time.
Madrugada. It's like
6
dawn,
a.m.
but shittier. It's 6 a.m. Yeah, he is up at the butt crack of dawn every week after week. So huge shout out to you. Thank you so much. You are our hero, and yeah, you carry the torch that
We
we
love
cannot.
you. Come home safe.
We hurt you.
Yeah, I have a t-shirt. For you when you get home, good sir.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
I'll be home in a couple more weeks. But anyway, I don't have a date yet, but my stuff got picked up on Tuesday. So
That's totally fine. Security, national security, we got you.
yeah.
Cough,
All right.
cough.
Well,
My God,
but anyway, I gotta go because I gotta get ready for work.
Yep.
All right.
We're about to wrap
Have a great
this up
day.
anyway.
Later,
Thank you
guys.
for joining us, ladies and gentlemen.
Toodles.
Yep, there you go. This concludes our episode of Geek Boots Military Nerds. Catch us next week to talk about horror. I don't even know. We'll figure it out. We'll do some cool stuff. But
Next week we got to talk about the upcoming LA Comic-Con.
Yep.
Yes.
we need to talk about it too, and a whole bunch. We'll leave that for the Halloween episode. Yeah, so catch us. I just want to let everybody know, if you've stayed this long. So I just recently found out that there is a slight hiccup when it comes down to iTunes. Podbean is slow, so the episode doesn't get uploaded until at the very minimum 24 hours after it's been up on Podbean. But we are on iTunes, we are on Podbean, we are on YouTube, we are always live streaming through Mayan Goddess's Twitch account. Why don't you go ahead and drop that URL verbally, Mayan Goddess?
Twitch.tv/MayanGoddess_.
So hit us up then if you want to watch us live. I don't do much editing these days because we've been doing very well. So catch us, support us. Eventually we'll have t-shirts on sale. That's going to be an awesome venture when that happens. Support us however you can. Word of mouth, share us, all that wonderful jazz. Thank you for tuning in. I am your host, Tom Cruise Cosplay. With me tonight was J4, who already gave us his toodles. And we've got Mayan Goddess. And somehow he will have to match that single dad.
Hi.
Beautiful.
This is Geek Boots signing out. Hit us all up. Bye.
Deuces.